Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel. I'm Gift Time by name. So on today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve a scallop bustier. So firstly I'm going to take you through the skirt parts. I already did a tutorial on it and it's already up on my YouTube channel. So this is a recap of the skirts tutorial, that is the down part of this dress. If you're stopping by for the first time, you're welcome to this channel. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. Please, as this video progresses, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you're yet to. I'll be drafting the back pattern now. So I've gone ahead to draw out my neckline, my armhole, my shoulder to bust and shoulder to waist. The next part I will be indicating will be my nipple to nipple measurements, that is my bust span, which is 4 inches after dividing by 2. Next, I'm going to be taking 7 inches downwards. It is an off shoulder outfit. So after getting the 7 points, the 7 inches downward, I'm going to square it up as you can see from the video. Next, I'm going to extend that my nipple to nipple measurement to that point. So I'm going to extend the line. Now I'll be taking my dart intake and I will be using 1.5 inches, meaning 3/4 on each side. So after getting that, I'm going to draw out the dart legs extending to that 7 inches I came down with. So that is what I'm doing. Next, I'm going to impute my bust measurements. Divide by 4. I'll get the value and it gets it there. Then that intake, that spacing, I'm going to also indicate it there as well. Next, I'm going to impute that same measurement on my chest region. Now I'm going to be taking my waist measurement, divide by 4, and then I'm going to include the dart intake, which is 1.5 inches. I'm going to indicate it right there. Next, I'm also going to add another 1/2 inch. This will be for my zip tightening. I'm going to explain it why I'm adding extra 1/2 inch right there. So I'm going to draw out the line. Now that extra 1/2 inch I took, I'm going to remove it from this point. This part is my zipper. So to remove zip bulge, I'm taking 1/2 inch away. So next I'm going to proceed to cut this pattern out. So the back part is very easy. It is simple and easy to get. So what I'm doing, I'm just indicating that is the zipper region. So by the time you're cutting it on your fabric, you have to add your allowance at the zip part and also your allowance at the side. Now one thing with me, I love closing my darts. I don't like sewing the dart on the main fabric, so I love closing it on the pattern and then cut out the way the pattern is on my fabric. But you can also sew your darts. Next, I'm going to proceed in drafting the front pattern. Now I've also indicated my neckline, armhole region, chest line, shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist region. So next I'm going to be imputing my nipple to nipple measurements, which is 4 inches. So I'm starting from the bust region all the way to my waist. So I'm going to draw a straight through. Next, from my under bust, I'm going to be taking 1/2 inch, that is to the side facing the center front. I'm taking 1/2 inch from my under bust down to waist. Why for this other part I'm taking 1.5 inches for it. So I just square them up. Next, I'm going to be using my curve rule to give it this shape. So I'm taking that point to my bust region using my curve rule. So next, what I'll be doing, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement into 2. I get the midpoint and then I will extend that midpoint to this point, to my bust region, as you can see from the video. So next, what I'll be doing, I'm going to extend my chest region, but I'm not going to be using this chest line. It's a little bit too deep, so I'm going to come down by 7 inches the same way I did for that of the back, and I'm going to square it up. It's much more modest for me, so it is 1.5 inches above the chest region. So next, what I'll be doing, I'll be taking my dart intake, which is 1/2 inch on both sides, and I'll be using my curve rule to connect it to my bust region. Just watch how I'm going to place my curve rule. So you have to place your curve rule this same method to give the bustier its shape. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking my bust points, my bust measurement divided by 4, and then I'm imputing that dart intake right there. So the same measurements, I'm also going to impute it under my chest line region. Next, I'm going to go all the way to my waist point and take my waist measurement divided by 4 and get the value right there. Then the dart intake I took, I'm going to measure it and also impute it right there. So next, I'm going to connect all points together. So what I'll be doing next, I'll be taking my bust dart intake. Now mine is 1.5 inches. So the difference between my front and back is 1.5. You have to measure yours. So this is the yoke part and I don't need it. I'm not working with yoke. So I've crossed out the part I'm going to cut out. Next, what I'm doing here, I'm taking my strap to strap measurement. So my strap to strap measurement is 10, so divide by 2, which is 5. So that is what I'm marking. So the first part I got 3.5, so I extended it to this other part to get my remaining, to complete the 5 inches. So you have to mark it for the outfit to be firm on your body, so your off shoulder is not loose. You have to measure your strap to strap. How to get your strap to strap is wear a firm bra. Where one point of the bra stop, you measure to the other points. So I've gone ahead to cut out. So as you know, when you are cutting out, especially at that bust, that you have to make sure that you have to give extra spacing so that you don't have shortage. So now I'm going to cut this on my fabric. Now this part is on fold, so I'm going to cut it on fold. I've gone ahead to cut it on my fabric and I left 1/2 inches at the side seam and the hem part, and also at that other point I gave my allowance I needed. So I've gone ahead to open it up. Then this other sides, I've also opened it up for you to see how it is. So I'm going to add hairstay to them, an interface to make it more firm before sewing it. So I've gone ahead to add the interface on the pieces I'll be working with. I also did same with the lining. So next I'm going to be joining them together. I'm going to be sewing them. What I'm doing, I'm using my pin to get them together. You have to, so that they are in shape, you have to align it together, especially that curved region. So next, I'm also going to do the same at this other side. I'm going to use my pin to guide me. What I'm doing here, I'm marking 1/2 inch all through. So the inches you gave, that is the allowance, you have to mark it all through to guide you while sewing. So I've gone ahead to mark it. So next I'm going to be sewing it, and I'm starting from the down part. I'm going to be starting these two parts. I'm starting from the down. It's much easier to get the curve and the shape than starting from the top part. It works better for me to start from the down, so I will advise you do the same. So this other part as well, I'm also starting from the down part. One part is easier because like this part now I'm working with, it's much easier compared to that other part. So at the end you'll be able to get the desired shape you want. So next, what I'll be doing, I'll be ironing this allowance I gave. I'm going to use my iron to open the seam out. So I've gone ahead to do it, and this is, I told you earlier, I did everything the same way I'm doing the main fabric is what I'm doing at the lining as well. So I've gone ahead to open it up. So this is how it looks like. Next, I'm going to be attaching my cup, ready-made cup to it. So this is it. I'm going to be attaching it to this outfit, to the bustier. So I will be starting directly from under the bust region. So if you need to indicate yours, you can notch yours or mark it or measure. So I'm going to be starting directly from under the bust, and I'm going to be placing my ready-made cobra right there. So after doing it, I'm going to use my pin to guide me. Next, I'm going to use my thread and needle to stitch it. At that allowance, it's not going to show at the right side. I'm stitching it with the allowance. So as you can see, I'm stitching it multiple times just to make it firm, and I'm also going to stitch at the top as well. So this is it. It's not visible on the right side. So I'm going to stitch at the top and these other two parts. So I've gone ahead to stitch it. So when you flip it over to the main to the front, it is not visible because I stitch it at the seam. So next I'm going to proceed to the creation of the scallop. So I'll be using my lining to teach you. So firstly, I'm going to get the midpoint, that is the center front, the midpoint of the lining. So I'm going to notch it because I'll be doing all my marking at this lining. I did not draw the scallop on my pattern paper, but I'm doing it on the main fabric after joining everything together. So after getting the midpoint, I'm going to be marking 1.5 inches all through. That is the reason why I came down earlier by 7 inches, because I know I'm still going to come down again, so I don't want it way too down. So after marking it, that part I notched at the midpoint, I went by the side 1.5 inch and the other side 1.5 inch, making it 3 inches. So this scallop is 3 inches in diameter. So the next one, I'm also going to mark 3 inches. Then I'm going to get the midpoint, which is 1.5, and then curve it as you can see from the video. I'm also going to do the same thing at this other part. So altogether, I only want 3 scallop structure at the front. You can decide to have more than that, so you have to reduce the diameter from 3. So after doing it, you can go ahead to cut it, but I'll be placing the main fabric so I can cut the two of them together. So that is what I will be doing. So I'm done cutting them, and this is the shape, this is the scallop shape. So next I'm going to use my lining to turn it over to get a perfect finishing. Now before using your lining, you go ahead to attach your sleeve. I have a well-detailed tutorial on how to achieve that sleeve. I'm going to drop the link in this video. So next you're going to attach your back bodice. Now those clips are missing, and that's why I didn't insert it in. So that's why I'm explaining it. So it's not a big deal to attach your back and the sleeve. So if you've watched to this extent this video, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are yet to. Bye.